Hi, and welcome to Marks of Maturity. We're continuing our series in love, 1 Corinthians 13. And this week I wanted to talk to us about love is not easily angered. Or if you read other versions, it will use words like irritable or resentful. And they all kind of lead us into that same general idea. I remember very distinctly being at the cell phone parking lot at the SeaTac airport. I was there to pick up Tina and a few others, and I had arrived in good time, not super early, but early enough, and I just went and pulled in, and I found a parking space, and I parked in, front first, so I wouldn't need to back out later, and then, as it sometimes happens, everybody's arriving at a very similar time. Why? Because we're all coming for the same flights, and so traffic got backed up. So I'm waiting to get out of my spot because I got that text saying, "Hey, we're here," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll be there in a minute." And then I hear this noise. I hear this noise coming from outside of my vehicle, and it's a banging noise, and I don't know what it is at first. And then I look through my rearview mirror and see that there's this guy in a minivan who is losing his mind. He is absolutely just completely just he's punching, literally punching the windshield. He's punching his steering wheel, and he's only taking breaks to kind of shake out his hand a little bit because it hurts. And so he's carrying on. Then at one point he opens up his door. He kind of stands out, kind of in there and starts yelling at the car in front of him because the car in front of him was letting other people get in front of them, which made this guy even later than he wanted to be. I tell you that story for a couple reasons. One, I hope that we do find at least a little bit of humor in that anger can almost turn comedic when we just completely lose it. But the other reason is it's usually safer for us to talk about those sorts of instances, people we don't know, something where we weren't directly hurt. But anger can really be a wrecking ball in people's lives. Anger can cause so much damage. It can drive a wedge between you and the people that you love. It can drive a wedge between you and God. And what I want to encourage you with is this idea that if you find yourself being easily angered or easily irritated, and by the way, there are times when we are rightfully so, right? Like things happen, tragedies happen, people wrong us. To feel anger isn't wrong, but what we do with that emotion matters. And when we find ourselves being easily triggered that way, then we might need to work some things out with the Lord. Instead of anger, let's ask God to lead us towards kindness, towards a surrendered response. Sometimes the best thing you can do is maybe take a few deep breaths, but just in that moment, God help, God help. You don't need to be eloquent in that prayer, but God help, settle me down. Help me to respond in a better way than I am. God loves you so much, and so do I.